Our next speaker's name is Ferdi Abrahams. Many of you know Ferdi. Ferdi is a very well-known figure in real estate in the Western Cape. He's been in the business for many years. As I told you earlier, he was Andre and Lydia's principal. At one point had, I think it was 3 RE/MAX offices. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Ferdi. He had, I think, 3 RE/MAX offices. He had 60 agents in his RE/MAX offices. He then, along his journey, he had a Harcourts franchise. So he's been through the franchise system. He knows it from the inside out. He then decided to get out of the franchise system and start his own real estate company called Prosperity Real Estate, based in Kales River. And he ran that for a number of years, successfully so. The team kind of fluctuated around 5 to 10 agents, so it was a smaller team that he was used to running, but he was trying to build his own brokerage. So now here's a guy with kind of 20 years experience. He's had big franchise operations. He's now run his own real estate brokerage. Every now and again you find the diamond you're looking for, and that was Ferdi. So Ferdi took one look at it's a funny story actually. So his wife, Janine, is his office manager. His daughter was the transaction coordinator. She's an attorney. She's now living in Joburg. But it was kind of very much a family business. I showed Ferdi the EXP model like you guys saw yesterday morning. He went home, he fired his wife, and he fired his daughter. He said, "You're both fired? We're joining EXP." He called the agents into the office. So James told you he took a year to do this. Ferdi took about 3 minutes. Calls all the agents into the office. He says to them, "We're moving to EXP. They say, who? We're moving to EXP, and you can either go somewhere else. I'll find you somewhere to go if you don't want to come, or you come with me. I'm going." Why was that decision so easy and so quick for Ferdi? Because he's been on the inside in the old model. He knew, when he saw this thing, he just said, it's a no-brainer. He said to me, "My office costs me 60,000 Rand a month. There's 10 of us. 60 to 80,000 Rand a month is what it was costing him." And he said to me, "Are you telling me I can keep my brand, I can still be Prosperity Real Estate, just powered by EXP, and my monthly expenses are going to come down to 900 Rand a month?" I said, "Yes." Fired everyone, joined the same day. So Ferdi is the kind of guy that you don't need to convince to do anything. When you're a leader of an organization, let me tell you who you appreciate most is the people that just don't need you. And when you call on them, they're there. And in fact, they are helping grow the organization. They are helping build the culture. When there's a problem, they step up and they get involved to solve it. And I'm just like, it is such a blessing to a leader when you have other leaders join your organization. That's what Ferdi is. He's a leader. I tell you, I so appreciate this man. He has been such a blessing to me. His cool head, his wisdom in all situations. For those of you, I mean, I know many of you are in the group, and you see the WhatsApp group. We've got the biggest WhatsApp group in history. There's 650 of us. If you haven't muted that thing, you don't get any sleep, because that thing is just going off its nuts every day. But it's a fantastic place for all of the agents in my group around the country to collaborate. And you will often see when there's someone who's got a thorny legal problem, or they've got a thing, what do I do with a certain buyer who's giving me issues? It's Ferdi's voice that quietly comes in and solves the problem. You'll notice that. So Ferdi, I don't know where you are. Are you at the back there? I love you, my friend. You've been a great blessing to me. Give him a round of applause.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Gee, Stephen, thanks for that introduction. He's putting me on the spot here already. Now, what do I say after that? But here I am. Let me just put this click here. Guys, I'm not using slides or anything. What Stephen has just sort of highlighted here, that is a true story. Let me just give you a quick background. Okay, there's the timer. Let me see. I've already cut 5 minutes into my time. So, what Stephen has just told you guys now, that's a true story. I've been in real estate for 24 years. And prior to that, I was in the military, the Navy, for 20 years. I know I still look 21, but yeah. So that's my background, military, transition from a military background into real estate, two complete opposite worlds. But what I want to talk to you guys today about is we are entrepreneurs, people that are wanting to build a business and leave a legacy for our families. Is that correct? Real estate people, we entrepreneurs. And the three big things that we are after is financial freedom. And we want a bit of respite from management fatigue, because the biggest asset in our business are our people, right? But they can also be the biggest source of stress and distress. And we want a bit of relief from that stress. Is that correct? You guys can talk to me. Shout it out. I feel alone up here. And then the other thing that we also want is, let me put on my eyes, growth in our business. We want a business that grows constantly and continuously and in a positive way. Am I correct? That's the general platform. So let me park that. So remember that. Park those three things. We'll come back to that. I want to just give you the backstory of where I am coming from and what's happened in my life and why that ties into what I want to speak to you about. So in 2000, I was still in the military. I went to work one morning, sat down at my desk at the EW Control Center, and I realized this is not what I am meant to be doing. Been sitting and working in the military for 20 years. There's no warfare going on. We're at peace with the world. Everybody loves us. Everybody is happy with South Africa. I put in my resignation right there. Boom. That's the Monday morning, folks. 1st of February, 2000. Tendered my resignation. The very Friday, I'm out of there. And I walked into a real estate office in my little town in Kuils River. And I walked into the principal's office there and I said, "Hello, Tannie Mari." For the not so Afrikaans people, this, good morning, Mrs. Mari Smith. Ek sê, "Hallo Andy Mari, ek is hier om te werk. Het jy 'n desk vir my?" She says, "Yes." "What are you doing here?" I'm still dressed in my ice cream suit, my whites, my tunics. And she says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I want to become an estate agent." She says, "But you have no experience." I said, "Teach me." She was bold enough to take a chance on this little fool walking into an office, want to be an estate agent. She took the chance, and I was so grateful for that opportunity. Stayed with her for 2 years. Then I was introduced to a big franchise environment, which I then decided to join because the opportunities were just bigger and better. That's what we always after, bigger and better. So I joined Remax. 3 years into the Remax franchise, I bought into the franchise as a partner, became a broker owner with Remax. We expanded to 3 offices with 80 agents, Stephen, actually, in 3 offices. We grew that office. We had a fantastic business and successful business. Fast forward to 2000, that's also 2005. 2009, we went on holiday like we all do over the Christmas period. Enjoyed our holiday. I came back. In fact, we were running 2 businesses, the law firm and the Remax offices. I came back to my office on the 5th of January 2010. I came to a place that is shut down, chain locked. The sheriff is on the premises. And the staff are all sitting on the pavement. We've got no business. The business has been shut down, locked up, liquidated. My one partner had a massive heart attack. He's in hospital, incapacitated, can't speak. I'm standing with the business in the doldrums. The business is sequestrated. We lost millions. I had a successful business. We had buildings. The buildings were sold on auction. Long story short, I'm sitting with zero. I've got a franchise business. The agents all went their merry way. Andre and Lydia, bless their hearts. They are fantastic people. They were part of my business that time. They found a new home in another Remax environment, and so did many others. Now what do? You go home, and on top of that, I arrived at my house. My oldest daughter just had a baby. The baby was about 3 months. I arrived home, the sheriff's broken into my home, folks. They've taken every piece of movable furniture that they could pick up on the truck, and they left. They only left my piano there, and I'm so glad Daniel, Lizna's husband, didn't work for the sheriff, because he would have bloody well picked up the piano. Sorry, Daniel. But anyway, so here we are. I've got no income, I've got no assets, just the house and the clothes on my back and the clothes in the cupboard. My wife comes home. I have to say to her, my dear love, we haven't got a business anymore. We haven't got a home. We've got nothing. We're sitting on crates, genuinely on crates. I manufactured, and at the end of that particular year, 2010, my youngest daughter, who is now an attorney, a conveyancing attorney, pardon me, she was in matric. I had to make furniture from pallet wood to even just have a coffee table in the house. But that's life. Long story short, we move forward. That franchise was banked. It was down the tubes. And I got an opportunity with another big franchise. Someone phoned me from another big franchise in the country. He said, hey, listen, we want to expand to the northern suburbs. Are you up for it? I said, yes, I'm up for it. There's obviously a lot of negotiation going, and I haven't got a cent. So I bought the franchise in 2010 with no money after I've been bankrupted. I started a franchise with zero in my lounge with my oldest daughter, who then became my office administrator at some point. And we ran a successful business. Within 6 months, I had agents. I had 10 agents in that office. They were doing well. The office was booming. And I can tell you now, we had, at some point, someone spoke about those glass trophies that we get. Those agency of the year, agency of the month, top performer of the month. I've got a whole cabinet full of those things. I can throw them all in the fire. It meant zero to your bottom line. Doesn't mean anything. Trophies and accolades and plaques doesn't mean a thing. You need to have a business that is sustainable. Then franchise politics, as it were, cuts in. You fall out of love with your partners in the business and things just doesn't work out. So shut the franchise. The people, I went into a mom and pop shop. I did my own thing because that's what we want ultimately. We want our name attached to our business, that we want to leave a legacy to our children, and so it goes. So I started Prosperity Real Estate. Successfully ran that business since 2016, right through till 2021. We were doing well. We had good agents, got the right people in that business. And I felt we were fairly successful, but then things got disrupted. We were in COVID, beginning of 2020, right through to 2021. We were stuck in COVID. We were indoors. No one had an office. No one were allowed to go to an office and work. And I was introduced to EXP via Stephen. He ran a seminar. He invited all of us to come and have a listen to this fantastic business opportunity that he's now getting involved with. And I thought, gee, Stephen, what other business can now be so fantastic? But my curiosity got the better of me. I registered for that seminar. I looked at this thing. And the more Stephen explained about this model, I'm sitting up and I'm looking at this and I said, gee, if this is to be believed, this is something that I must really just get into. So I watched that video. I made an appointment with Stephen, but his calendar was so jam-packed. I could only get an appointment with him. That was the Friday. The following Wednesday, I phoned him after that. I said, Stephen, listen, I know we only have a fixed appointment for Wednesday, but we need to talk now. Because I sat up that whole Friday night in my bed next to my wife on a laptop with spreadsheets, throwing a lot of numbers in the end. And I think, gee, this thing can work if the numbers are what I'm seeing. If this is true, this is the next best thing to sliced bread. And I said to my wife, yeah, fantastic. So, sliced bread. So I told my wife, babe, we gotta join this thing. And my wife is a fantastic lady. She just goes with everything I say. Ek is die baas in die huis. Julle weet nie wat ek weet nie. So yeah. So we joined EXP. And like you can now understand, that's a serious decision. I shut my business. But this is a serious decision. And I am very meticulous. I take a lot of time and I think about these things and I make a serious decision in a split second, quickly. I don't roll on these things. And I make the decision. I joined EXP. Best decision of my life ever. Thank you, Steve, for presenting that opportunity. And, but you know what? The fantastic thing is, I understood this business model because I researched years prior, how do I get more money into my agent's pocket without bankrupting my agency? You know, it comes down to higher splits, desk fees, etc., and providing more infrastructure and more services to the agents. But we could never find a happy medium because it's a numbers game. And with a small office, you just don't have those numbers. But here we are, EXP. And so I joined EXP. And in 3 years' time, I've grown this, not even I, with minimum effort from my side. My revenue share team right now, in 3 years' time, it's slow, as it's not growing that fast, but I'm sitting on almost 200 people, 185 people in my rev share team at the moment. Thank you. Now, when I'm speaking to principals in the industry, I try and speak to people. I say, listen, you've got a team, you've got a business, how success? And we all say, no, I'm super successful, the names. But we know deep down, there's overheads that are killing us. But we drag this thing along and we carry on. And we just pamper the baby. But the thing is killing us. It's a millstone around our necks. And so the first thing principals will always tell me, but then I lose 50% of my agent's commission. My agents are on a 70-30 split. I said, that is small fry. It's you need to start thinking prosperity. You can't think like a poor man holding other people back. Because what EXP is giving us is an opportunity to grow a business, and the thing grows exponentially without my intervention. Lydia and Andre, for instance, are growing a massive team. Lisna is a bulldog. She doesn't let go of anything. Her team is growing through their effort and their teams and the people in my first year, their efforts. My business is growing and so are theirs. And so we all have an equal opportunity to grow a phenomenal business with EXP. And so let me come back to what I wanted to talk to you about. That was this background music. Now the eyes must come on again. This financial relief thing that I'm talking about. We want a bit of freedom. Financial freedom is the key to happiness. All right, James? Financial freedom is the key to a stressless, a stress-free life. When you have overheads in a business, principals here, you know what I'm talking about. You cannot pack your car on a Friday afternoon and just go. Especially if it's close to the end of the month, then you have to worry about books that needs to be balanced, all those things. You have to have administrative duties that SARS is on your neck the whole time. So you can't just pack up and go. Because you've got an office, you've got staff, you've got business, you've got overheads. EXP allows me that freedom to operate from anywhere. Currently I'm operating from where I am, that's my business. That's my office. With an office with overheads, it cost me 80,000 rand a month just to have a simple office, not even a big place. There's people here in this industry that are running mega offices. We are spending millions of rand a month, hundreds of thousands of rand a month, just sustaining a beast, just keeping the thing afloat. But you go home at night worrying about the income, the business, because if you don't wake up tomorrow morning, your family is in the doldrums. They're in trouble because the business is shut down. They can't move on. I have that mindset now. With EXP, my family is taken care of through the revenue share, equity share that is there for them after my departure from this planet. And that's a phenomenal thing that one doesn't really think about, because in the South Africa, I don't know the rest of the world, but in South Africa, there's just no retirement plan for an estate agent or a principal or anybody in this industry. You work until you keel over and they haul you out of there in a box. That's the reality. That's how our lives revolve. And so, by the way, this hairstyle that I'm donning here, it wasn't by choice. I wasn't born with this beautiful hairstyle. This is stress due to businesses, So yeah. And then this management fatigue thing. As a principal now, you're building a team. You're getting people into your business. You interview an agent. They want to be part of your business, your team. You ask the girl, why do you want to be an estate agent? She says to me, oh, I love the freedom. I love the flexibility of hours. I can work anytime, anywhere. And you appoint her. She's now an agent in your office. Now she sits at the desk the whole day. You battle to get that beautiful girl out and go and list and work. Where's the freedom now? And that is not, and that is really the reality. People, they eat up your infrastructure, sit on the internet, they work. They don't work because they don't have the responsibility. It is my responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that the infrastructure is in place, that the business is functioning 100%, that my need as an agent is looked after by the principal, by the office. What can you provide for me? And then you train them, you make them, turn them into a good agent. Then they look around, they become good. Then they ask, what else can you give me? Now, I can't give you a 90% now, 90 split isn't in our budget yet. Then they go knock on Joe Soap's door, and Joe Soap picks them out of, and they reap your hard work. That is just the reality, and bless their souls. People need to, I was ambitious, everybody is ambitious, and then eventually someone in your environment, in your organization says, but I want to start my own thing. They go and start their own thing. You've trained your opposition. They just go out and they put up shop next to you, and you're in for a fight. They know as much as you do or more, because you've trained them, hopefully well, and they can become good agents out in the field. So management fatigue, we want to be a little bit more. I don't have that. Stephen mentioned yesterday, he's done a seminar, he's phoned in the ring for 2 hours. You don't have that. I've got 180 people in my organization. I've personally introduced 15. I don't know those people. I've looked on my board yesterday. Do you know what that translates into? If in a perfect world, principals or agents that are still contemplating EXP in a South African context, that's passive income potentially of just north of 2 million rand per year as we stand here now. That's passive income. Passive, without me lifting a finger. So by the way, I was on a holiday. My wife tries to call it something else. She says I was lazy. I didn't work. I didn't work. The whole of December, I was busy with other projects. November, I skimmed over work. But I was still able to sustain my life because I've got a revenue share income. Through no effort of my of myself. I did nothing. I'm secure in EXP. I've got equity shares piling up there. I'm almost at the speed limit where people say you've got to retire. In South Africa, that's 60. I'm 2 years away from that. Do you think I'm going to retire from EXP? Not a chance. This business is too good. And why would one not grasp a business? Thank you. Why would one not take this opportunity? It's dressed in overalls. Yes, it looks like work, but it's good work. It's not as hard as it looks. It's easy. The systems are there. Everything is in your control. Steve, give me just 2 seconds more. Then the growth. In fact, I've spoken about the growth through no effort of mine. Nothing. No intervention of mine. The beast is just growing. Listener talks to 2 or 3 people, and they come. Rochelle talks to 1 or 2 people. They come and join a team. It doesn't have anything to do with me, but my business is sustained and grown and being built up by other people's effort as well as my own effort. That's the beauty of EXP. So, people that are running teams, why would you join EXP? For all of those reasons that I've just mentioned. There's only 3 reasons. Financial freedom. You have no management or, let's call it, human resources stresses. And you've got a business that grows exponentially without having a lot of intervention from my side. And that, I think, is a compelling reason for anybody thinking of building or running a business. Join EXP if you haven't yet decided. And the only regret that I've got, I must tell you this before I run off, Stephen. The only regret that I have is that I've shut my business and I've joined EXP as late as I have. Should have done it earlier, but it wasn't available. So here we are. Thank you, folks, for listening to me.
Thank you, Ferdi.